question for you, baby.
What is it?
What's the first thing you did when you first woke up today?
I think I turned off my alarm and then went on my social media for like 30 minutes. What about you? Let's take a poll, everybody. I want to see a raise of hands. What was the first thing you did when you woke up this morning?
Raise your hand. If you woke up, drank some water, maybe stretch, or go for a morning run. Okay. Now raise your hand if you scrolled on your phone, just like baby, for a while. Quite a few of us. Well, today we want to talk about this tiny yet powerful molecule that influenced our daily choices. This molecule above us are like those little wanted posters people put up when they're finding the criminals. Do you recognize her?
Ladies and gentlemen, her name is dopamine, and she's been charged for issuing me narcotics. Did you know that dopamine clinically has the same structure as cocaine? Like all drugs, we should not blame our addiction on the molecule itself, though, because it is our fault too.
Let me quickly define dopamine for you guys. Dopamine is also known as the happy hormone. It's the messenger in your brain that makes you feel good, motivated, and focused. It is mostly involved with feeling pleasure and also moving your body.
Some examples of this would be you dancing, eating good food, or finally getting the time to spend with your family and friends. The National Health Institute has also studied in 2020 that this is also what determines whether a goal is worth the effort.
There are two types of dopamine, the positive and the negative. We can talk about how it was in the past and compare it with the present days to talk about it. So in the past, our dopamine intake was primarily positive. It is because we did not depend on our devices as our source of dopamine. Instead, we went on walks, exercised, spent time with our families and friends, and actually put in efforts and time to accomplish things. With these, we had our balanced reward system where people found pleasure and satisfaction in different varieties of activities and relationships.
Fast forward to today, though, our dopamine intake has taken a pretty drastic turn. With shortcut methods like social media, we are besieged with negative dopamine triggers. When I wake up in the morning, I don't go out or run or enjoy the sunrise. Instead, I'm going on my phone. I'm setting myself up to get negative dopamine throughout the day. There are many things that could lead to a dopamine addiction. For example, junk food, drugs, or maybe even pornography. Today, though, we are going to use social media as our example.
Because we get it so easily nowadays, we just simply cannot get enough of it. And our satisfaction is dependent on dopamine on first place. And because we know this, we're somewhat addicted to it. To get this, we're now watching sensory overload videos, short form clips, and by that, we're doing endless scrolling, which is not healthy for most of you all here.
Have you guys watched these kind of videos? These videos are a form of sensory overload. It could include somebody doing Minecraft parkour while they tell us a story on Reddit, or Subway Surfers gameplay, above a video of two people talking about negative dopamine.
There are many things happening at one time, and we spent hours watching those kinds of videos. It sure is entertaining. I know it because I watched some. But when you leave your phone and start to think how you got on this side of the internet, you start to feel bad about yourself.
Nowadays, the way we get dopamine is not healthy. Dopamine is good, but the way we are achieving it is not. To make it healthy, we should be aware of how it affects us and how we can make it work for us and not against us.
Well, they say it takes a lifetime to manage an addiction. If that is true, then a simple break from social media wouldn't be enough. Well, even so, that would be our first step, right next to what we're here for today. Raising awareness of the negative dopamine we get, even without us knowing. Because when we're aware, we can become more safe. And guess what? This is already halfway of developing a more healthy everyday life.
Like Jane said, a simple break from social media would not be enough. Instead, we should try a more comprehensive approach, a dopamine detox. By avoiding things that make our brain release negative dopamine,
Like posting on social media.
right, We can reset our brain's reward system and dependency on instant gratification.
Like getting likes on that post, for that example.
Exactly. Teens, unemployed, Jane, baby, and all working individuals can relate to the entertainment provided to us by our phones.
Let's use this as an example to achieve balance. Dr. Sussman, a child and adolescent psychiatrist, is known for her work on problematic gaming. And we all have that in-the-moment feeling when we're surfing on online shopping or watching some entertaining clips or even eating junk food. We all love that tingly feelings. But doctor said that the problem comes in when we're doing it for a really long time. Let's say hours or even days. Over time, the residual effect is feeling bored doing other activities, academic included.
In an interview with Joy Madden, Dr. Sussman suggested alternating high dopamine activities with instead low dopamine activities. Things like working out, reading, taking a walk, or simply having a conversation take time, as compared to high dopamine activities such as shopping, going on social media, or maybe even smoking.
Low dopamine activity done on screen usually takes time and are productive, like making a PowerPoint, getting a project done on Photoshop, or even writing a paper. When we know how to balance the types of activities, we learn how to stop it, which is a life skill that everyone can benefit from, but especially to young adults or students who are often in college who's looking for a job, whose prefrontal cortex is not fully developed, need more self-regulation than an older full-time employee who has more structured life.
And this is where dopamine detox or fasting comes in. We can simply schedule 1 or 2 days within a week to not do high dopamine activities and instead focus on restructuring our schedule and getting back on track with what we have missed throughout the week.
To accomplish these things, we have to understand that we need to change our standards. Instead of seeing ourselves scrolling and playing video games as a good time, which does not always bring us closer to our goals, we should do healthier things because those things align with our identity, value, and purpose. That could also mean that doing our works done before motivation kicks in.
These tiny actions will eventually turn into habits, and habits will either make us or break us. If you still see yourself relentlessly drawn to your screen, a full break or fasting may even be necessary. Experts say one should not rely on willpower alone. Instead, seek out help when you need it, with school, work, relationships, and both physical and mental issues. Jane, we literally just gave a TED talk on how we should practice dopamine detox because the way we get dopamine now is not good.
Well, baby, I think I need help. Can you help me start doing dopamine detox starting tomorrow?
Okay, I need it too. Let's go take a walk first thing in the morning.
See you tomorrow.
Yippee! Thank you.